are you up to? I was taking out the webcam frame with a different channel that made no sense to be there. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick review of Overcooked here. We just played Overcooked for the first time here, and... Well, I shouldn't say that, right? Because I played the first one. Golly gosh. Alright, so, just finished our first playthrough of Overcooked here. Overcooked 2, I should say. And I have played Overcooked 1 when it had first come out, and I enjoyed it. I think it's a fun, kind of simple game to play from time to time. I think that the levity of it and everything is just very refreshing and different, and the game style of having to kind of run around as your two characters and cook things and do something kind of like that is better with more than one person is definitely a fun mode. But what I will say is the one downside to the game is I don't really think that this game is a single-player game. So when you're playing the game and everything, you have to control two characters, which, I mean, it definitely has its hardness when, you know, you're playing with, you know, someone in multiplayer, but you can separate the jobs in multiplayer at least and get things done. So when you're playing solo, it kinda... it gets your brain fried in some ways, and it takes a lot to kind of keep up with, and then you're kind of stuck, like, fidgeting around, you kind of get lost, and as things get more and more complex, it just, you know, the whole point of the game is to kind of get through that, and that's kind of where the fun comes from. But I do feel that as a solo game, the bar is, like, wildly high in many aspects. It takes a lot to kind of skill through a lot of it and to kind of get to the end, you know. So there is definitely a skill gap in this game in solo mode that's quite hard. But I do think in multiplayer it kind of does lower that skill gap down a little bit. As we saw, we were just playing a different mode here before called arcade mode, and certain maps work out really well. We were just on a map, it looks like it's in a little restaurant. You're making a bunch of pasta dishes in the restaurant, and both the zones are kind of cut off. So you got the people who could chop up a few of the supplies as well as sending the pasta over, and then the people that cook those ingredients and then have to put it on something to kind of transfer that food over. So it made it a little bit easier to at least pass the board, but I think that's where this game truly shines. It's a multiplayer game, working together with your friends, laughing, going through some craziness. That's where it's at. It's a good game. I will say this is definitely a game. I don't think you have to wait for a sale. I don't think you have to wait at all. It runs well. It is fun. Even though it's really hard, it's a matter of if that's your type of game. If you're looking for really high skill gap solo mode, then yeah, this is probably a game for you. If you don't like that, if you like something kind of simple that you just play through and your kind of brain can shut off, I don't know if this is the game for you. But if you want something that your brain's gonna feel like, oh my goodness, if it's just chaos, if you get enjoyment out of that, if you get a laugh out of that, this is definitely a good game for you. And at the cost of right now, $25 or $20 as it is on PlayStation right now, it's so worth it. For a little $20 game, I don't think you can go wrong. I don't think you can go wrong. I will say, though, the one thing about the game I find a little bit lacking is I wish there was a little bit more of a story mode. I wish that, you know, you do have the Onion King and the Onion Kingdom and stuff. That's wonderful. But I kind of wish there was a little bit more of a story behind the kingdom. The first game had more of a story where there was like this tomato, no, it was like a meatball thing or something that was like attacking the city, the kingdom, and you had to like do stuff to save the kingdom. Whereas in this one, you've got these like unbreaded zombies or something. The unbreaded. They come into life and you gotta save the kingdom from them and keep them satiated, or else they'll go and attack the whole kingdom and everything. So, like, there's a little bit of a storyline, but I do wish there was more of a storyline. But for $20, for $25, I'm not going to fret if there really isn't a storyline. because the game mode itself is solid. The story mode is pretty fun. And now you have arcade mode, you have a versus mode. The versus mode I do find a little bit lacking, just because my one time playing it, it was a 2v1 match, so the person who's playing alone was able to switch between both their characters at will, and it was on a map that both sides were completely cut off from each other, and since they were able to switch between characters, they were able to get everything done, whereas on my team, my teammate left, and then I was screwed, because I couldn't get to the other side to get the ingredients and stuff. So there's some maps in versus mode that, you know, I think they might have to rethink for a mode like that, where it might be nice if there was like a back door or something if your teammate decides to be like, no, meow, you don't know how to cook, you suck at this game, and they leave. You know, so I think there could be definitely some upsides to that. You can change your chef, which is kind of cool. I've got a few here so far. A little mousey. The Ratatouille. Oh, adorable. Oh, a panda. Gally. Oh, a little cat. Gally gosh. He's got glasses. Hey, guys. Gally. I like the old lady, though. That's my favorite one. That's my favorite one. But like I said, I don't think this is a game you have to wait for a sale. But, you know, there's some upsides. There's some downsides. There's some types of game in this that, you know, it's not for everybody, but I think that most people will enjoy it. And that's my review, my honest review. Golly gosh, hopefully it helped. Hopefully, golly gosh. All right, so that's our review there.